Perfect.
So good morning, buenos dias, bon dia, huh? And good afternoon or good evening or late afternoon for our friends from London. We are here today with Tariq and the team from At Sloane. And if you have not seen yet the picture or the presentation, you are going to love it. Okay, so Tariq, Nikki, Kate, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much. And I see that you're in the reception area there, Dominique. You're already
Yes.
showing some of the hotel. Thank you for being in our reception.
You're
Well,
welcome.
my
You're
name's
welcome.
Thank you. My name's Tarek. I'm the general manager at Sloane. We also have Kate here.
Hopefully you can hear me. I'm in the same room as Tarek, so we're sharing a microphone.
We're sharing.
But yes, I see a few familiar names on there, Susan, Bonnie, etc. So it's lovely to see you all here, and it's nice to be back in a hotel again. So
So Kate's joined us quite recently and is the director of sales. And then we have Nikki as well from the team, and Nikki's the sales manager.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're well, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for joining. It's we're grateful to have your time. I'm sure you have very busy schedules, but we wanted to take half an hour to tell you a bit about our hotel. So what you see at the beginning of the presentation here in front of you is the facade of the hotel. So when you look at it, I mean, really nothing could be more quintessentially British. We're a grade two listed frontage, 1888. The hotel was built, and there's a bit of a story behind the hotel. So you have here Edwardian building in the arts and crafts era. So it's truly a British quintessential experience for your clients that you send us as guests from the US. So they really, American business makes up 50% of our business, would you believe, in 2.5 years. And so we have a lot of amazing American guests who come and join us, and we love taking care of your American clients who come and join. And so the story of the hotel is firstly the area is of huge importance to us. So we're right in the middle of Chelsea. So I'm sure that all of you, with all of your rich experience, know London very well. Chelsea is a very particular area. We're in central London. You'll see the logo there, AS, just towards the middle of the screen, right next to Sloane Square. And so the entire area is owned by an aristocracy. So Lord Cadogan, who's a 300-year-old aristocracy who are worth around £7 billion in real estate, 93 acres they have, would you believe? And they were famous because it's just after the time of Henry VIII. They were an aristocratic family. And essentially, Lord Cadogan wanted to develop a new hotel on the estate. They have other beautiful and very nice hotels, but they wanted something a bit more elevated, more luxurious, more discreet, and a little bit more sexy as well, perhaps. And so we're based right off Sloane Square, just a stone's throw from the square. And you have in the area all these beautiful and culturally rich locations. We're 20 minutes walk from Hyde Park. We're 10 minutes walk from Battersea Bridge, so right on the River Thames. 20 minutes a walk from Buckingham Palace, of course, a real tourist hotspot in London. And Harrods, for anybody looking for a shopping mecca, is only 15 minutes walk away. But forgetting those other attractions, we have incredibly interesting, beautiful attractions in the neighborhood. You saw the front of the building, and for anyone who hasn't been to Chelsea before, this really is an example of what the area looks like. Dominique came to visit us only last year. You were with us, Dominique, I think, right?
Yes, March and June again, huh? Twice.
March and June. She can't keep away. But it's really a typical frontage for the building, this red brick, really rich, beautiful, very quintessential British location within London. Your clients who come to us have a real sense of place. They really feel like they're in this aristocratic heartland in London. And we think that that's something which is very special about the hotel. But around the area, all of the real estate is like this. So it's like walking through this really beautiful, charming village. We have pedestrianized streets like Pavilion Road with a butcher and a cheesemonger and a fishmonger and a bakery. And so it's really a local place in London. And that adds the special nature of the area. And these are some more photos. So you see bottom left is Sloane Gardens. So that's our street. It's this beautiful residential street. We're the only building on that street which is not a residence, a private residence. Harrods, I've mentioned, is close. The pedestrianised road I mentioned is the top middle photo. So full of these really charming places for guests to enjoy and explore. And then you have the palace, Buckingham Palace, and then the Royal Albert Hall. So all of those are in walking distance from us. So a really great location for your clients to be in. The story, as I said, of the hotel is that Lord Cadogan, this aristocratic lord, loved a hotel in Paris. It's his favorite hotel. and he loves a hotel called Hôtel Coste. And Hôtel Coste is in the very center of Paris. It's owned by Jean-Louis Coste. It's been operating for 30 years. I'm sure that some of you, with all your experience in travel, know it already. And so when he wanted to develop a new hotel, he only wanted to work with one hotelier, and that is Jean-Louis Coste. And so 10 years of planning and conversations, and 6 years of building, which is quite unusual for a 30-bedroom hotel. Our 30-bedroom home opened. One of the things which is really interesting about the product, and you'll see, is the incredible interiors. So Jean-Louis Coste insisted on working with a designer called François-Joseph Graff. And Monsieur Graff doesn't do hotels. So I had never heard of his name before I started in the hotel. And that's simply because Graff does private homes of billionaires. He's done the private home of Valentino, the designer in London, Yves Saint Laurent, Pierre Berger in Paris, their private apartments, and numerous other apartments around the world, in Stadt, in Miami, in New York. And that's because his clients are incredibly private in nature, as Lord Cadogan is, very private. But in this instance, he was asked to build a private townhouse in the vision of an art collector's home, for us to open as a hotel. And so everything you see is all hand-designed, antiques. This fireplace in the middle, I remember, Dominique, when you came, we talked about this fireplace, which is not marble. It's what the French call a trompe-l'oeil. So it's an optical illusion. It's actually painted by some very special artisans, and that's wood. It's an oak fireplace, which has been painted painstakingly by a real craftsman to look like marble. And so that's just an example of the very many special features around the hotel. So when your guests arrive, they walk through this small vestibule and feel like they're in a private home already. And then they enter, as Dominique is already located, our reception area. Doesn't look like a hotel reception, and that's simply because we don't run the hotel like a hotel. We run it like a home. And that translates itself in many ways. So firstly, in terms of design, this is Neo-Grecian. So it references the Greek sentiments and the Greek method of design, the proportions and so forth. And this is inspired by a private home in the south of France called Virakerelos, which, in case any of you are interested in the interiors, it was a big inspiration for the designer. But importantly, this room is full of antiques. You can see these unusual chairs with zebra print, which were reupholstered. The curtains in the background there at the checkout desk are Loro Piana cashmere. The rugs are all hand-stitched. The furniture is all handmade. Nothing is contract grade. And I think for me and for the clients that you send us, that's something very special about the hotel, because it doesn't make sense. It's a freak property. It shouldn't exist simply because no hotel has spent this much on interiors and has had them designed with so much care. And so that's something which we get a lot of feedback from our guests on. It's also the format of the reception, which is unusual. So this is our check-in area. This is where your guests come, and my team sit on the right-hand side. We have our supervisors and our receptionists and our hostesses and our concierge all there. And your clients will be invited to relax at what is essentially an antique dining table. And they'll sit, they'll have a coffee or a martini or 2 glasses or 3 bottles of champagne, whatever we can invite them to. And then our love that we show your clients really begins. And, you know, those gestures and small check-in gestures, whether it's champagne or a martini, is something we offer with pleasure, as if you were coming into our home, as if you're arriving on an evening and you said, oh, I fancy a martini. We say, let's do it. Let's have martinis. And so that's part of the fun which happens. And so this is an opportunity for our team to really get to know your clients. Now, we're big planners at Sloane, so we love to either assist you as travel bookers or travel agents to compile itineraries for your clients, the best restaurants, the best bars, the best museums, what's happening that's cool in London, what's not, where not to go, which is equally as important sometimes to make sure that our clients dine at the right restaurants in London. But if there's anything which is left over when they arrive, or anything which needs to be changed, or the whole itinerary needs to be turned on its head, which sometimes happens, that's what the team are there to do. I wish I had photos of the team. Maybe next time for the presentation we put them in. But we have 95 team members for 30 rooms. That is incredible. It's incredibly expensive as well. But we do it on purpose, because our job in this home we run is to cocoon your clients in love and to really give them all attentions they could need. Sometimes that could be a PA for the whole week. It happens. And that hopefully helps you in your jobs as well to change flights, find missing luggage, change all the restaurant reservations, get them into the impossible sold out tables. We love it when people check in on a Saturday and say, actually, I want to go to Carbone tonight, which is probably many of you know is an impossible table to get, but we get it. And that's part of the value we add. We believe that the experience of your clients extends beyond the walls of the hotel, so that they need to eat in the right places, they need to see the right galleries, they need to see the right private properties, for whatever they want to do. And so we love those challenges to make it happen. So a really high ratio of staff, which denotes the type of service that we want to provide. It's a townhouse service we provide to your clients. Some of the details of the reception. So it's not just a serious place. We have plexiglass chessboards in the middle of where the guests check in. And on the right-hand side, one of my favorite features, you see what we call the stormy sky. And that sky is just above where your clients will sit and check in with us while they enjoy their tea or their whatever it is. And it's the stormy sky because it was painted by hand to be an optical illusion. So when you walk around the desk, when you come to visit us, you'll see the sky essentially follows you around. And it's quite a special feature. The designer, Graf, had also done the restoration of Chateau Versailles. And so the mirror room in Versailles had a huge number of very special artisans work on it. And he brought all those artisans to work on the building of At Sloane. And so that sky is painted by the same artisans who painted Chateau Versailles. So it's quite an incredible experience. We talked about love. I wanted to show you some of it because we really mean it. The amenities we do for clients and the touches that we make for clients are incredibly special for us. As I said to my team and my managers, it's not good enough to be a beautiful building. It has to be a really beautiful, meaningful, and authentic experience for clients. And my team love nothing more than to really take care of your clients. And honestly, expense is not spared. Lots of programs talk about the value they add to you. And as a smaller property, we're not part of Virtuoso, but Dominique and I have put together some special benefits we'll talk to you about a bit later in the call. But one of the things which we're fed back about constantly with our travel booking partners is the amount of care and attention that goes into your client's experience in London. Some examples of a client who loves Bloody Marys on the top left. And so there's no charge to the travel agent. There's no charge to the guest for this. We put these touches in with love. Bottom left is a guest who stayed with us 2 weeks ago, actually, and she had her first grandchild. And she shared this with the girls at reception. She was so excited about having her first grandchild. She was, in tears of joy when the child came. And so later that day, the team went out and bought beautiful baby grows from Bon Point, which is a really beautiful brand. And that expense didn't go to the client. That expense didn't go to the travel agent. We did it with pleasure because that's what you would do if you stayed in our home and you had your first grandchild. And so this philosophy of townhouse is very important to us. Other funny touches, there was some girls who came for a girls' weekend to celebrate their birthdays, and we knew they were going to a Taylor Swift concert, so we bought them all different colored shades and digital and cameras for them to get processed to keep the memories alive after they leave us. And then one of my favorites is on the bottom right, you see a photo of me actually with some of the team. So that's Octavia, who's our gorgeous dining room manager, Marta on the left of the guest, who's our assistant reception manager, and James, who's our front office manager. And the lady in the middle next to me is called Natalie. I know she won't mind you seeing our photo together because she's an American lady who's just launched a jewelry brand, and she just launched her first pop-up in Harrods. And she was so stressed the entire week. Her husband couldn't be here because of work. And so the girls, Taban, Clevie, Marta, became her PAs for the week. They went with her to the pop-up to set up. They took her parcels. They repackaged her jewelry. They sent out important cards for her guests she wanted to invite. And she was so emotionally engaged by it that the day after the pop-up was a success and she was completely depleted and ready to go home, we threw her a canapé and champagne reception in the lobby as a surprise. And she really loved it. And she's booked to come back, and this time in an appartement for a week next month. And so we do it with pleasure. And what it means is it creates real loyalty in our clients because it's a genuine gesture and it's a genuine relationship we build with them. So I'm going to hand over to Nikki, who's upstairs in our dining room.
Hello from the dining room. The dining room is actually one of my favorite places in our Maison Privée. Our restaurant is located on the 6th floor and was inspired by the Peacock Room, which is now exhibited in the Freer Gallery in Washington, D.C. What these two rooms have in common is an aristocratic design with Anglo-Japanese vases. The restaurant itself offers 18 tables and a cupola, which I'll be showing you in a bit. Our restaurant features Also, as I mentioned, the cupola, perfect for more private gatherings for up to 8 people. And it's divided in 3 distinct sections. The menu has been personally curated by Menche Kost, featuring the essentials, l'essential, his classic favorite dishes that have stood the test of time. It also includes many of his best-selling creations, as found at Hotel Coste in Paris. We offer 14 starters, 16 mains, and some of our most popular dishes would be the poivre, escargot, but also miso salmon, rigatoni. So it's predominantly French cuisine, but complemented by carefully selected Asian and Italian options. And if you allow me just a moment, I will stand up and quickly show you the restaurant.
It's going to give you a live tour. Forgive us if it's a little bit shaky.
This is my personal favorite section. It's called the red section, and as you can see, everything is very well cared for. The furniture you see are original antiques or replicated. You see we have a cactus and lots of Anglo-Japanese vases. Also the Loro Piana curtains that Tariq mentioned earlier. And then I will slowly take you to the cupola, which is now set for up to 3 people, but as I mentioned earlier, it can accommodate up to 8. It's a more private gathering. And then very quickly, I will also take you outside. Hopefully my connection will be strong enough. So it's today in London. However, this is the view from our rooftop. You can see from very far away Westminster as well as London Eye. And then if I quickly turn my screen on this side, you can see Sloane Square as well, with the Christmas lights that are actually on throughout the year. And then I will, sorry, can you hear me?
Thank you for showing us around, Nikki.
Sorry. Thank you, Tariq.
Thank you. We wanted to show you a little bit around the dining room. So hopefully you got to see a little bit of it. I think what's really special about the dining room is the intimate nature of it. And, you know, for hotel guests, they are without question always accommodated in the dining room. And it's a sold out restaurant on many nights of the year. In fact, most nights of the year. And so that's something special which comes with people staying in our home, is that they have all this exclusive access to the dining room and they're always accommodated. In 2.5 years, we've never, of course, said no to a guest who's staying in a hotel. For non-resident guests, now it's a bit different. We make it a little bit more difficult for them to book, and they have to call the hotel to book, because we maintain this privacy and this exclusivity of the dining room. It's also so special because on the 6th floor, as Nikki mentioned, it's flooded with natural light, breakfast and lunch. And Dominique and I sat next to the fireplace together the first time that we met, and we had a little lunch together, didn't we?
We did. Yes, we did.
And so in the evening, then it becomes very moody and intimate and candlelit, and the music goes up and the lights go down, and it's a really special place. The terrace, which you see in the photo in the background, opens in the spring and the summer and is really one of the most exclusive tables. We only have 6 tables outside in the terrace on the 6th floor, and they overlook the Chelsea chimneys. So it's an incredibly quintessential experience. The bar, a little bit different decor, is downstairs in our basement. And this is a photo of our fireplace room. So it's very moody, aubergine tones, velvet cushions, and you really feel like you're really cocooned downstairs in the bar. The bar we operate as a speakeasy, so we don't publicize the hotel in general, but we also don't have any signposts for the hotel. The only way that people know there's a bar is outside the hotel. There's BAR, the word on a door. And then they descend down the stairs into this kind of basement, and it's full of atmosphere, candlelight, as I said. The lights go right down, and it can be a lounge, but it also can be a place where parties can kind of erupt and happen on weekend lively nights. The bar has become one of the most exclusive bars in London, I have to say. I'm proud to say. And is often fully occupied throughout the evenings, even early in the week. It's not just the weekends. And another thing which our clients really comment on is how they love access to the bar, and so they always get in. When I was off over the weekend, my phone was constantly erupting with some really incredible fun people in London who wanted to get into the bar and couldn't because we're fully booked. But I think that's one of the most important things about our hotel, is that we operate it as a home, and your clients always get access. So that's something which is guaranteed. In fact, the only reservations we make in the bar are for resident guests of the hotel. It's a fun place. You see, this is Marsha, one of our DJs, who's amazing. We have a no house music policy. It's funk, it's lounge, it's Afro, it's interesting, it's music which people can discover. We largely use vinyl discs, so it's not it's not USBs, it's all an art because vinyl is the true music for DJs to play. And we think that's quite fun having that as a craft itself. You see some fun crowds on the right hand side, and that's our snug in the center there. So we have these two private tables at the end of the bar where guests can have a quiet conversation or a more intimate time. And then one of our secret weapons is this terrace, which we're so proud of. The camellia flowers have just started coming out this week, actually. So this green foliage and these bright white flowers, and the jasmine erupts in summer. And that's the view of the umbrellas from on one of the higher floors. But it's just off the main street, off the residential street. And it's kind of this very private, intimate little terrace where guests can enjoy drinks, coffee served in the morning and so forth. So that's a beautiful space in the hotel too. Then it comes to the rooms. So being a Chelsea townhouse and grade 2 listed frontage, our entry-level rooms are an intimate size. This is the essentiel. So we have rooms ranging from 18 square meters to 22 square meters. So they are on the more intimate size, and we're very aware of that. One of the most interesting things about our rooms is that just as well as the public areas, all of the rooms are full of antiques, which is quite an unusual experience. We have rooms sometimes which have chairs and furniture worth thousands of pounds inside. So we had a chair in one of our entry-level rooms the other day we did a repair to, which was a £3,000 British antique chair. And the rooms start at £800 at the moment. So it's interesting experience for clients to come and stay with us in this incredibly quintessential townhouse, surrounded by all these really beautiful British decor and British antiques. So it's an unusual experience staying in a billionaire's home, essentially. But you see that very different to the bar. There's all bright white rooms, which are beautifully wood paneled. As I say, antiques feature in all the rooms. And the rooms which your clients will go into will all have double sinks, which is something which we hear feedback on is very important to us, to clients. The Chelsea's become more generous room size, so 30 square meters, 323 square feet. So these rooms start to feature bathtubs, which you can see on the right-hand side, and more generous space for guests to enjoy, especially suitable for longer stay guests. The Chambre Sloane, larger rooms again, which feature sitting areas in them. Again, dual sinks in all these categories I'm showing you. And this category, it's not on here, but perhaps I'll show you in just a moment when I show you a bit of a tour of this appartement, which I'm sat in, has a really generous walk-in wardrobe and beautiful roll-top baths. Some of the features in the room, you see on the right-hand side, some beautiful windows, and these windows are right across the hotel, in fact. So they are handmade by a company, an artisan called Loire Chartres. So an area of France called Chartres in the Loire Valley, who are famous, these artisans, for producing all these stained glass windows. And so these are all perfectly imperfect. All the solder amongst them is completely done by hand. So that's quite a special feature. And those actually unclip and open up to show a full natural light. So clients have the option of having both the beautiful window or the beautiful natural light in its full glory. And on the left-hand side, well, in the center, you'll see an example of one of our walk-in wardrobes. On the left-hand side, you'll see one of our mini bars. That's a mini bar in a suite. And one thing which we think is important, that all of the snacks and the soft drinks in the hotel are complimentary. So alcohol is to be paid for, but snacks and soft drinks, we like to make complimentary for your guests. The suite which I'm sat in now is 46 square meters. So a very linear design. You'll see the view from the living room on the left-hand side, which looks right through the bedroom towards the bathroom. And because the designer was used to doing private homes as opposed to large, huge hotels, he's very clever with space. And I think he made a very clever decision to make such a linear design where between the bedroom and the living room is just hand woven curtains, which mean you can still divide the space, but still have a beautiful flow of light through the suites. And the appartement. And the appartement is 84 square meters. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom suite with 2 walk-in wardrobes and a separate WC. So this can sleep in beds 2 and 2, so 4 people, but we can also put extra beds in these rooms. So a lot of bookers who we speak to and introduce the property often ask about connecting units. So we actually have connectivity right the way through the hotel. So one of our most popular is the appartement, which is a combination of a Sloane and a suite. Which is selling for £2,600 a night. sorry, £3,600 a night, I beg your pardon. But also we have connectivity in our entry-level rooms. We have 5 sets of connecting entry-level rooms, perfect for friends traveling together or people traveling with their children. In the central category, which is called the Chelsea, we also have connecting set of rooms. So again, perfect for different types of clients who you might have coming to London. Some more features from the room. On the right-hand side, you'll see one of the front doors from the rooms, number 57. All of the numbering of the rooms and the signs across the hotel are all hand-painted. So that's a special feature. And it's done inspired by Louis Vuitton. So just like the luggage is hand-painted, we also have all of our doors and our numbers hand-painted. And then in the center here, you'll see someone with a leather glove who's changing the lighting settings in the room. So intimacy, it's a really intimate hotel. And so we celebrate love in the hotel with the photographs of lovers in the rooms and also love lighting, and importantly music which plays in the hotel, which is curated by Hotel Cost. And so we have that soundtrack playing right the way through the music if guests like to enjoy that music while they're staying with us. Just before I show you the benefits, I thought I would very quickly show you a tour of this suite. I know it might be a little hard to see with the camera, but I thought it was important and fun for you to see that. You see Kate here in one of our suite living rooms. So this is a connecting option. So this goes through to a Sloane room. I'm trying to walk as steadily as possible. So you see the walk-in wardrobe here. Really beautifully appointed rooms. It's an incredibly residential style of decoration. So all these individual antiques, which guests are delighted by. This is one of our feature bathtubs. Double sink areas. And then through there is a shower, a walk-in shower and WC. And then this goes through into the suite. You'll see the living room going through into the bedroom. All of these beautiful touches, these antiques. This suite has 7 different antique chairs, actually, believe it or not. Roll-top baths, which are a really popular feature. Separate showers and WC. And then this really charming cupola area, which is home to the dual sinks. And guests love this. And this overlooks Sloane Square. So all these really unusual antiques, like this zebra chair here, which is a really interesting experience for guests to stay in rooms that are all individually designed. I hope that wasn't too shaky. So I told you earlier that we may not be part of some of these larger programs, but we still know very well how to look after you and your clients. It's very important to us. Our relationships with our travel bookers are really special relationships, which we like to foster. Dominique and I, when we started working together, put together some benefits. We call them the DDC benefits, the Dominique Dubé Collection benefits. And so one thing we'd love to offer you is, and this is something which our bookers tell us is a really important benefit to them, is a guaranteed 1-tier complimentary upgrade at the time of booking. What that means is you send us through an inquiry, and for the room types, the Essentiel and the Chelsea can both instantly be upgraded. And that's written on your confirmation. It doesn't depend on how the receptionist is feeling on the day or whether or not they'll do it. It's a guarantee to you. And that's something which, as I say, clients' feedback is a really important benefit. Now, the upgrade to a suite is upon availability, but we love to make it happen. It's not something you need to fight for as a benefit. It's our pleasure to make that happen. We also like to offer you enhanced commissions. So instead of 10% for the rooms, it's 12%. And for the suites, it's a 15% commission we'd like to offer you as an agent introduced to us by Dominique Dubé. We also love to do personalized amenities. I showed you a couple of examples earlier on about the baby grow or the girls' weekend or the flowers we do. The more you tell us about your clients, the more we action. It does not fall on deaf ears. And that's a lot of ways which we really create special relationships with travel bookers, because you tell us their favorite flowers, you tell us they're into yoga, you tell us they love dark chocolate, you tell us they love green tea, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be food and drink. It can be cultural activities. Someone came the other day and loved London jazz. So we put them into Ronnie Scott's and we gave them a London jazz book to take home with them. We love to hyper-personalize things, and none of that costs anything. It's our pleasure to do that, as I say. Putting a note with it from yourself brings us pleasure as well. So you must send us through your notes, which you'd like the team to handwrite for you. And champagne with all bookings, of course, is a given with suites, but we think that champagne in a luxury hotel and a luxury home like this is a standard. It's a basic. And so whilst your clients would not be getting that if they booked an Essentiel or a Chelsea or a Sloane. If they booked it directly, when they book it through yourselves as travel bookers, that's our pleasure to do as well. Priority for check-in and check-out, early check-in and late check-out. Now, we run this hotel at low occupancy. We do it on purpose because we don't like to ram the hotel full. It's too delicate, it's too special. And so apart from around seven weeks a year when we're full occupancy, we actually run the hotel at around 60% occupancy. Why is that important? It means that we're not always fully booked, and that's our strategy to be that way. We like to have clients who pay good rates, but we don't ram the hotel full. And that means that we often have rooms available to accommodate your clients. And I know all of the tricks for hotels, having worked in hotels for 18 years. Often it's an opportunity to upsell clients who arrive early to the next category. We don't do that. As clients of yours, it's our pleasure to make the next category available for them. And so these are touches that we do to welcome guests into our home and benefits we like to extend to you. The last thing to say is, I mean, I introduced us at the beginning, but you have myself as general manager. As some of you might have heard me say, I was with Dominique in West Coast when she introduced me to nearly 400 travel advisors. We had an amazing time, lots of fun. In such a small hotel, it's my pleasure to be so connected to you and to your clients. I run the hotel with someone who's essentially the hotel manager, Caroline. You saw her feet on the terrace when I showed you the restaurant photo earlier on. So her very elegant legs. So between the two of us operationally, we are really in touch with your clients and very in touch with you. You also have Kate as Director of Sales, who I introduced you to, and Nikki, who's actually a sales manager with us.
Thank you very much, Tariq. What a beautiful presentation. You have not seen because I'm far away, but I had emotional tears at some of the moments. Your presentation is brilliant. And I remember the way,
sorry.
I remember the way yeah, I don't know if you saw me taking my, doing this and this. I'm not sick. I was like, okay, I need to.
Oh, that's sweet. You know, Dominique, we take this seriously. We hire people with a lot of heart in this hotel. They're not only beautiful, my team members, but they're also very smart and they care a lot. And actually, they really get off on making clients happy. They really get a lot of pleasure out of emotionally engaging with guests. It brings them a lot of pleasure.
Yeah, and taking care of the client and the needs of the clients with their own business like you do. I mean, it's I don't know. And I know your attention. I know what you did also for me. But one thing I know is when I left your hotel, instead of saying I love the hotel, I said I'm in love with At Sloane. That's different. At Sloane became like a being, a heart, you know. No, it's, I know you know the magic, and I hope everyone will get the magic sooner or later, because it is a very different place than just a beautiful hotel. Huh?
Oh, thank you very much, Dominique.
So we have a beautiful video to show. So shall I go ahead? Huh?
Please, yes, thank you, Dominique. You're going to show our video.
Voilà.
We're good at looking after your guests, but we're a bit technically challenged. So Dominique's helping us to show our video for this.
No. It's not challenge. It's I can only play it this way if I want the sound.
I see.
Huh? Perfect. Oh, your sound is off, Tariq. I cannot hear you.
Thank you for showing that, Dominique.
Oh,
And
you're
hopefully,
welcome.
yes, I'm back. I worked out my unmute button. Thank you for showing that. I think it's fun to see the video and the bit of movement in the hotel as well. So it's not just, yeah.
But it was nice for both of you, Nikki and Tariq, to go around also. That was really nice.
Well, thank you.
So shall we do the question? I think, Suzanne, you want to know, are there showers in the hotels?
Unmute, Susan.
So we can answer that, certainly. Hang on, we've just Tarek's going to turn his... There you go. So all the rooms have a stand-up shower. They don't all have a bathtub. Those that do have a bathtub also have a separate shower.
All right.
So I hope that answers that question.
Hello, good morning. I'm going back to what we had.
Dual vanities. There's a question about dual vanities. Yes, all the rooms do have dual vanities. So your clients will always get that guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Hélène, you said Chelsea location is truly your neighborhood.
DDC benefits. So with this one, we always do, Helen, like to know who books us. I think you probably know how I work from my previous role, but either if you book on the GDS, that is totally fine. We don't mind how you book. You can book directly, you can book on the GDS. Either put your name in the SID field and we will work out who you are, or even write DDC benefits and then your name, or email us as soon as you made the booking on the GDS. You know, we really, really, really appreciate to know who has booked us, and I'm sure Dominique does as well, so that we can be sure to follow up with you when your client checks in. We can also send you an email when your client checks out so that you know everything that's going on with your clients. So if you can just let us know that it's you booking, then that would be great if you book in the GDS. So.
Voilà. Or you just send me all the requests, I copy paste the team, and we confirm your amenities and your extra commission and so on. Huh? So
I think that's answered every question.
I just wanted to read, Jessie, Helen said Chelsea location is truly in a neighborhood which is spicy, easy, trendy. Location is fabulous. Laura, you said you never realized the cost connection, so special. Bonnie, this is certainly quintessential Britain, spectacular. Nikki, Helen will see you on May 13. Voila. And what do we have? Is there anything else? Looking forward to seeing you all. We did the bathroom. You said the dual vanity. And we said there is a dual vanity in all the rooms. Huh? Voilà. Thank you, Suzanne. We love Dominique. I love you too. I love that, Erin. Thank you so much for the introduction, for this beautiful. Thank you. I'm already in love. You see, Laura, I'm telling you, this is the way it goes. You're in love with this property. You're not just love it. Huh? Well,
the other thing. Well, the other last thing I wanted to mention is this, and we were talking about this just today, actually, the relationships we have with you as travel bookers, and we're so glad that all of you made it, mean a lot to us, and we really mean that. That's why, I'm very involved in this kind of sales, this kind of making friends, we kind of more think of it as. But when your guests arrive with us into our home, we send you an email. Of course, we love to be in contact with you before planning itineraries and booking the best restaurants. When your clients arrive, we always send you an email to let you know how the check-in experience was, how your clients have responded to the property, what they loved. Maybe sometimes when something goes wrong, which inevitably does happen in hotels, very rarely, I'm happy to say, we not only tell you that something's gone wrong before the client has a chance to pick up the phone, but we also tell you what the solution is and what the compensation, what the gesture is we've done for your client. That we hear from our travel bookers is very important to them. And also when clients check out, and sometimes, by the way, on check-in, when the amenities we've prepared, the special flowers we've got, the special whatever it is we've put together, the bath salts or whatever special we've done, we like to send you a photo of that so you can see what your clients are getting. We think that's a nice touch, and our travel bookers feed back to us. So also when a client checks out from us, our team always give an update that your client has left and they particularly love this, or they next time they want to do this. And that's something we like to do to show value of our relationship of working together. So you all mean a lot to us. Oh,
thank you. And I know you said what you mean. You mean every single word. I know it's not a sales pitch. Voilà. Thank you so much. And again, Tariq and the team, you will be sending the follow-up email with the presentation video, but also the link for the recording. And I hope everyone, you're gonna share to the team or your colleagues this beautiful recording of this webinar. Thank you again, everyone. I love to see
Everyone.
you.
Thank you, Dominic.
And if you
Thanks,
come to
Dominic.
London, please don't hesitate. Huh? You need to at least see the hotel. Just come for a site inspection if you cannot stay with us. Huh?
Come and see us.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Terry,
Take
Nikki,
care.
Kate.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye, everyone.